Raw food is a critically important component of a healthy whole plant food diet. In fact, non-starchy vegetables are the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet. Having said that, hey everybody, this is Dylan. I make videos helping you to simplify your whole food diet so that you don't have to worry about food so much. Let me obsess over the food and then I'll make videos simplifying it for you so that you can spend your time doing much more interesting things. I'm not making this video today to tell you that a raw food diet is a bad diet. I'm simply going to explain why it didn't work for me. If you've been living a raw food life for a long time and it's working for you and you're maintaining good health and you always feel well, then by all means keep doing what you're doing. I'm not here to tell you that what you're doing is wrong. So let's go back to my three main food groups that I talked about in a previous video. The first food group was non-starchy veggies, all around 100 calories per pound. These are the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet. They're what you would put on a salad. You can cook them, you can eat them raw. Obviously, for raw fooders, they're going to be eating them raw. So 100 calories per pound means you'd have to eat like 20 pounds of non-starchy veggies in order to get a 2,000 calorie diet. Not going to happen. It's pretty much impossible. So you could resort to blending them up, which would make it easier, or you can move on to the next food group, which is fruit, which is around 300 to 400 calories per pound, fresh fruit. I think that a lot of raw fooders are getting the bulk of their calories from fruit and then some other areas that we'll talk about in a minute. When you eat like me and you're only eating fruit sort of between meals and as a snack, and it's not like a huge component of the calories that you're getting on a daily basis. When you move to a raw food diet and you dramatically increase your fruit intake, that can be a problem. That's a lot of calories from sugary foods. I had the privilege of sitting down with Dr. Alan Goldhamer of the True North Health Center about this very topic, and he agreed that you can develop some pretty serious health problems if you're getting the bulk of your calories from fruit. But a common way that people are getting a lot of fruit is by using a blender or a juicer to try to concentrate as many calories into a small amount that you can just throw down the hatch quickly and move on. It's not that this is bad per se, but when you're relying on it for the bulk of your calories, it can definitely become problematic. And it can leave you not feeling very satisfied, which is definitely what would happen for me. It would not make me feel full to eat a bunch of smoothies and a bunch of fruit all day long. It just wouldn't work. The only time I've ever felt full is when I ate from the third food group, the starchy vegetables, which pretty much exclusively require cooking. Those are all between 400 and 600 calories per pound. Quite a lot more calories than fruit and a lot more calories than the non-starchy vegetable food group, which means less chewing and more calories and more satiation from the starchy foods. I rely on those to fill me up day after day. I would not do well without them. So another thing that tends to happen, because getting all of your calories from fruit on a raw food diet is pretty tough, is we move to overt fats like nuts, seeds, avocado, maybe coconut, things like that, which are more calorie dense. Avocado is around 750 calories per pound. Nuts and seeds are around 2,800 calories per pound, I think. So you can see how eating a lot of nuts and seeds would be an important part of getting up to your calorie needs without losing too much weight. And that can be problematic as well, because there's a very large percentage of calories in those foods that come from fat, which is not as great for your body. Another thing that raw fooders eat a lot of is cold pressed oil, also known as poison. This is not a health food. Oil is complete and utter garbage, empty calories, only good for if you're starving and you just need calories in order to survive, also known as a raw food diet. I'm kidding, let's move on. The reason that I think most people are eating a raw food diet is for a philosophical reason, because they think that it's more natural. I would say that it absolutely is not. In fact, blenders and juicers are relatively new in our natural history. We did not have them for very long. However, fire and cooking and using heat to process our food has been proven to be a part of our natural history from way before we were actually humans in this species form. We've been cooking food for at least 500,000 years, and we've been humans for only around 250,000 years, which means that fire and cooking food actually made us the species that we are today. You can learn more about this in the book Catching Fire. I'll put a link down below in the description. It's not a vegan book. It does acknowledge that we obviously hunted animals and cooked them as part of our natural history as well, but it talks a lot about eating starches and how starches are actually what made us human. In other words, it is way more natural to cook your starches than it is to blend up fruits and nuts and seeds and all these things into a format that you can chug down as quickly as possible to get as many calories as you otherwise would have if you were doing what was actually natural, cooking the food. Another thing I hear from a lot of raw fooders is that cooking the food is destroying the food. It's killing all of the enzymes and all these things. Well, here's the thing. The foods that we're cooking, usually the starches, they're not even the nutrient-dense food anyway. You don't need to be chasing after nutrients. Eat your non-starchy food. Eat your fruit. Eat all of these really healthy foods. Like I said, you can cook your non-starchy vegetables too, but for the most part, you're getting all of your nutrients, whether you cook it or not, from your non-starchy 100 calories per pound food, and away you go. You don't need to worry about plant enzymes. Plant enzymes were made for plants. We just need the nutrients that are inside of those plants. From chewing, it can be from cooking, just from eating the non-starchy vegetables. Don't worry about all the enzymes and the nutrient chasing and all that. Just eat from the 3 main food groups and you will thrive. And vary it up a little bit from time to time. At the end of the day, the most important thing is that you find a way to simplify your whole food diet so that you can maintain it without feeling like you're expending a bunch of brain power constantly on trying to figure out what to eat. Find super simple recipes like the ones I put in my videos. Watch this playlist here to learn more about how you can just simplify things down to these basic core concepts and just do them without thinking about them, so they're just second nature. I hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.